JP, the Jake Pecker. Oh, man. Here we are on our last day of our Western turkey hunting adventure, hunting with Kurt Kennedy of Kennedy Wildlife Services. We've been in California, on the border of South Dakota and Wyoming in the Black Hills, to New Mexico off of Wheeler Peak, hunting with Mike Bucks and Zeus of Marina Valley Outfitters. These turkeys have gained our respect. We've just about had to name all of them, but we've had to hunt them for 2 or 3 days each before we finally were successful. You're going to enjoy many of them, like the Gatekeeper. But now, from myself, Ron Jolly, and all the Primos crew, welcome to the True 6, Western style.
This video is brought to you in part by Lacrosse, great footwear for sport, work, and recreation. Remington, it's what you're shooting for. Hayes Outdoors, makers of Mossy Oak, America's most effective concealment system. And now new companions, the only casual clothing natural enough to wear the Mossy Oak logo. Golden Eagle Archery, simply the best. Satellite Archery, a broadhead for every need. Tara, home of Willow Point and Alpino, where sportsmen's dreams come true. Advanced Bow Sights, experience the ultimate advantage in bow hunting accessories. Featherflex, the ultimate decoy. Primos, champion hunting calls and accessories, the hunter's only choice.
To help me share the Western trip with you, I've got Ronnie Strickland.
Hello, Wilbur.
From Mossy Oak. Glad you're here.
Glad to be here.
And Ron Jolly, Public Relations Director for Primos.
Hey, Wilbur. We're at it again, ain't we, bud?
As always, we're always up to something.
Wilbur, that turkey on the beginning of the video, where was that hunt?
Cuz that was in Colorado, and that was the hunt for JP. And you're going to meet him on that's the last hunt you're going to see on this video.
Okay.
And you'll enjoy it.
And along with JP, you'll meet several other character turkeys, like the Runner, and Poncho and Lefty, the Gatekeeper, and more.
Yes, sir.
And all a character turkey is a turkey that we've had to hunt long enough that we finally just assigned him a name.
Right. That just goes to show you that Western turkeys aren't easy. The terrain, the vastness of the terrain, the weather changes, it can make hunting Western turkeys really hard.
They really can't talk about the weather. You know, you're hunting those Merriams in the mountains. Good gosh, it can be hailing on you 1 minute. You never know what the weather's going to do up in those mountains. Well, let's go to the Ogalala Sioux Reservation in South Dakota, where we're going to meet up with the Runner.
Now, that gobbler was a long way off, and he's got hens coming with him. How'd you get him that far to that point?
Yeah. Well, we heard him gobble over there, and all of a sudden we see him. He tops that hill. And we just went to just cranking on.
I mean, he's a half mile away.
Yeah, he's 600-700 yards easy, and we just went to cranking on a tube call. And you'll see we're beating on that slate, and he went to answering, and the hens went to answering.
Yeah, you can see the hens leading him. So the number one thing to get him to that gully and to go and bring him a little bit further was mimicking his hens, calling just like the hens were doing.
Man, what is up with you? Why in the world didn't you shoot that turkey? He was right
I wanted
there.
to. It just didn't work out. I thought he'd keep coming.
Man.
And little did we know that would be the easiest hunt of the entire year, the first day we were there.
He was supposed to give me the signal to shoot.
Well, the hens were right in your face.
Tell me about
Well,
it.
the reason I didn't give him the signal, we always give that little kiki, was, I mean, the hens were committed, and they stepped off, and they came back, and they walked up right in. I mean, they were almost on his feet.
I could have shot him 2 or 3 times, but we wanted him to spin and strut around, you know?
Wrong.
Wrong. But we did roost in that evening, which would give us a great chance the next morning. But like my good friend Mark Yarborough always says, roosted ain't roasted. We chased the runner all over that country. I know it was at least 3 miles. Up and down, across gullies, huge rocks, you name it, we had to go over it.
And we chased that turkey all that day. And the following day, it was the same thing. We had roosted him the night before, and we're chasing and chasing and chasing, and he wouldn't come. And by now, it was 3 longbeards and 7 hens in the flock. And we finally just made the decision that no matter what it took, we were going to use the terrain and get in front. Come on. Wow.
Tell them where we are.
We're in South Dakota on the Ogalala Sioux Reservation right out of Pine Ridge. And 3 1/4 miles according to my little walkometer from the truck.
We have been up and down. I was afraid I wasn't going to any exercise on this trip because we're having to get up so early from the hotel and drive to this place.
Well, there's that rock we kept saying we'd like to get over to. We've been there today.
Good gosh, if we've been there today.
Where you were laying in the wide open when those turkeys
We
came out
finally
there.
made it work. Well, you know, we didn't have anywhere to get. When we got in that position, I had to lay down there. And
I was trying to convince Will, you know, we hadn't seen them, we just heard them, and the whole deal was we knew we had to get in front of them
That's
because
right.
they weren't coming to our call.
And then to use the tree stand Mossy Oak out there, it's unreal what it looks like. It looks like an old dead western log. And it's amazing how well it worked.
I bet you were ready to get in some wood somewhere so you wouldn't
I
have to work.
guarantee you wouldn't have to make a 2-mile circle to get 100
And go
yards.
down 200 yards and back up 200 yards.
Right.
So now it's time to head for the Black Hills on the Wyoming-South Dakota border. They cut you when you hit your first note. So now it's my turn to run the camera.
It's my turn to shoot too, and I
No
got
doubt.
fired up real quick because old Les took us out there, and we got on turkeys right off
He
the
has
bat.
got some turkeys.
And we stayed with them, and we roosted them at night. We were using a hoop flute, just like that and Cuz got right there, and we were making great horned owl
answer
sounds.
it every
They were
time.
eating it
You know, we
up.
used a hoop flute in Texas, and they gobble at it real well out there. You just cover up all 3 tuning holes. There's 2 right here and 1 in the back.
You're making great horned owl sounds, and all you want to do is say the words, "Who cooks for you? Who, in that rhythm."
Every time they'll
They
just
were
knock it
wearing
in
it
the
out.
head. But just like my earlier reference to roosted ain't roasted, this time roosted ain't roasted.
Y'all were in the middle of them, weren't you?
We'd roosted those turkeys the night before, and old Les took us in there, and we set up just perfect on them. It started getting daylight.
I mean, we were
talking
within 70 yards of him while he's gobbling in the tree.
I thought we were going to be able to video them in the tree, but it just didn't work. And when they hit the ground, boy, that hen came over there and
She made me out. She saw me move the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, so South Dakota's over, and it's California, here we come. We flew into Sacramento, California, and headed for the town of Redding up the Sacramento Valley. It was the last week of the season. It was like going from one extreme to another. In South Dakota, the gobblers were covered up with hens. But in California, most of the gobbling activity was over. But we did find a few movie stars. We were hunting with Dave Berkeley of Featherflex Decoys and Chuck Harrison. Chuck's an outfitter in the area, and he has some great country to hunt.
Boy, can you believe that?
That was incredible. Best footage I've ever seen. I've never seen two turkeys so intent.
They locked
Who's
up,
gonna be
wasn't
the boss? You got tickled too, did you?
Oh, man, they got me so tickled. I'm surprised they didn't see me at that point. They came right by me 2 or 3 times.
And I had no idea what Will thought he was doing. He got up there. You just simply decided you was going to go catch one of them.
Well, that big old walnut tree out there was in between me and them, and I said, well, dadgum, I gotta sneak and see what they do.
Well, it didn't take them long to get out of there when they saw you coming at them.
Man.
But the next morning found us right back on another gobbling turkey.
What a beautiful gobbler. We just knew this was a longbeard. Got set up right on him. He flew right down and came straight to us. When he topped that hill and I saw that little old short beard, I knew we were probably in trouble. And then when he strutted, had that uneven tail, it was another Jake. It was a great hunt, but it wasn't to be. Well, we were ready to leave California and head on to north central New Mexico and meet up with Jimmy Primos, where we're going to go hunting Merriam turkeys at 10,000 feet.
I tell you, Will, we had a ball.
We sure did.
Our first hunts were with Moreno Valley Outfitters in Eagle Nest, New Mexico. And I tell you, old Mike Bucks and Zeus put us right on those turkeys.
They knew right where those turkeys were.
Boy, that turkey was hot. I thought we had him.
I mean,
First setup.
yeah, 11 o'clock in the morning, we just got out and raised this turkey, and man, he went to eating that walking yelp up,
I'm
and he
telling
was
you.
coming.
Yeah, that walking yelps is something you started about 2 years ago, and it's just emphasizing one of your yelps, and a lot of times that's what'll turn that gobbler on.
Yeah, it sounds like this.
Yeah,
And it'll jerk a gobble out of them a lot of times when they don't really
that's
mean
right.
to.
It is a great call, and we started using it a whole lot. Well, he got to that point. He'd been gobbling his head off, and we found out why he turned around and left. He had a little girlfriend with him. He didn't want to leave.
That's right. But finally, 2 hours and 3 setups later, we got him.
We got him. Jimbo!
Oh, man.
Unbelievable.
It really was.
This is a trophy Merriam.
Oh,
Good
man.
God.
I
Jolly, look at this spur. I mean, that is,
It's almost an inch, ain't it?
it's an inch. I mean, but it's just curved and pretty. And this one has been broken off and has lost that outer
Yeah.
core.
Well, he's been
And
strutting.
it's
look.
growing back.
He has really been
Oh,
strutting.
he's the king
He wore
there.
down.
Did you see the hen?
Yeah, yeah.
she,
but
had she had a radio transmitter with the antenna and everything on her wing. She was just beautiful.
Well, I've been watching this one for about 100 yards.
Jolly could hardly see him, dadgummit. How many times have we set up on this? It's a third or fourth?
Third setup, but
2.5 hours?
2.5 hours.
10-inch beard. Look at that. Jimbo, this is a trophy. Look at this tail.
This is my first Merriam.
Good shot. Yes, sir. Shows you how effective changing your calling location can be.
Really?
Yeah.
It was strange, though. I mean, we've made 3 or 4 setups, and every time he was just hammering everything we were doing. And we got there where he finally came to it, he didn't say nothing until he got there. And the first indication I had that he was there was I looked and I saw this hen coming, and I could see a little strange looking.
Yeah, it turned out there was a radio collar, and she was collared in Cimarron, New Mexico, 25 miles from there.
Well, before I could go in there and show you exactly what that collar looked like, I heard, and I'm like, man, there he was.
Right on top of
Jolly,
us.
I could see that turkey coming for 100 yards.
Coming down that mountain.
Really, I had no idea he was behind a bush when I took that shot.
Well, you did the right thing, because he busted us.
Yeah.
The only bad thing about this hunt is that left us with Poncho and Lefty and nowhere else to go.
Which was great. So here, Poncho and Lefty, here we come.
Well, you were set up on that turkey right where Jolly and I set up on him the first day.
And he's coming, too. But we had to pattern those turkeys, so I used the information you and Jolly gave us before you had to leave, and it's called patterning turkeys. You're trying to figure out what they're doing with their route every day. And y'all were getting there late. You were getting there after they went through. All we did was get there before they went through and called them to us. You can't call them back.
We finally did it. Poncho has fallen. Look at this, boy. Jolly, you ain't believing this. You are not. Look at these spurs, man. Look at that. He's a limb hanger. Look, this one's more curved than the other one. Look at that.
Wow.
He's got a blonde beard. You looking at that?
Hold up and be still. Let me show everybody.
It's first got my glove.
Hold it right there against you, Will.
About 10 inches.
Wow.
Beautiful Merriam turkey, Jolly. We've been after these turkeys, what, 4 days? 2 gobblers, we named them Poncho and Lefty, and they had hens with them. And we've been up on top of this mountain and the bottom of that mountain, and I mean, finally, they flew down this morning, wouldn't even pay us no attention. And we came down here and set the decoys up and yelped a few times, and took, what, 30 minutes? Absolutely awesome.
From Moreno Valley, we headed east to the high plateau country of northeastern New Mexico, near the town of Des Moines. There we hunted with Kirk Kennedy of Kennedy Hunting Services. Let's join Ron Jolly and guides Rick Phillips and Harvey Shannon on a hunt for the gobbler we named Split Tail.
Rick Phillips,
Jolly, it was fun,
Harvey
buddy.
Shannon. These guys are with Kennedy Wildlife Services, and is it Des Moines? Is that what he calls hometown?
Yeah, Des Moines.
In Des Moines, New Mexico. And Rick, what we hunt? We're hunting high mesa country and
Yes, sir.
very northern New Mexico.
Yeah, not too far from the Colorado border.
Yeah.
Up here.
We're going to Colorado tomorrow.
Yeah.
What's his name, Harvey?
It's old split tail there.
I come.
You had to have been running the video camera on
Well,
that.
I
There
re-
wasn't any footage at the end.
I really appreciate that. I forgot to punch the record button.
All right. That's all right. I fired him. I took care of that.
Good.
Yeah, it just looked like on the tape that turkey just popped up out of a hole in the ground. And Will thought he was recording. He just didn't hit record. And when he realized it, that's how he just pops up.
Hey, we all been there.
Yeah, that's right. But the next day, Will Walker and I got on a turkey out in the field, and Will was bow hunting. And this turkey's coming, and the wind's blowing, and I lost sight of him. I couldn't hear him for the wind. Next thing I know, he is right there.
How did you get him? How did you get him on camera?
Yeah, well, I didn't know I had him at the time. Just, I happened to look at it, you know, after the shot, and I said, look, there it is. I just had it wide open, you know, and I just got lucky. He
Hey,
just knocked,
you do better guessing than he does trying.
he just knocked a few feathers off his turkey's back. It was a great hunt.
don't know if you can hear me or not. The wind's not blowing but about 65 miles an hour, and it is getting chilly quick. But I just missed the biggest turkey in northern New Mexico.
Wow. Walker, he's something with that bone area.
He's good.
He got awful close.
Well, this next hunt for the Gatekeeper, how did y'all come to name a turkey the Gatekeeper?
Well, the Gatekeeper lived on the T.O. Ranch in New Mexico. And when you think about the T.O. Ranch, you think about antelope and mule deer. But this is where the Gatekeeper lived.
And David Carter named this gobbler. He and Walker had been hunting him for 3 days.
He's a member of y'all's pro staff.
Yeah.
He's from Arkansas, and they'd been hunting this turkey, and they get after him, and he'd end up every day at this old dilapidated fence running through that beautiful little drainage, and he'd get at this old torn down gate, and he would strut and gobble, strut and gobble.
Spin and just carry on.
And it never could do anything with him. Well, on the last day of David Carden's hunt in New Mexico, he and I went after the Gatekeeper, and it was black dark when we got to the drainage where the Gatekeeper lived. And I said, David, what are we going to do different to try to take this turkey home? He says, Jolly, my every instinct tells me to go above him, but my instincts have stunk all year. We going below him.
How many times has that turkey gobbled to this point?
There ain't no telling.
He was going to gobble to the dying point.
He gobbled at everything we did.
And y'all are changing strategies at this
We're
point.
fixing to. But what we did, we started out real aggressive. I mean, Carden and Walker had already tried everything, and they just hadn't tried it down under him in that position. So we go in there, and Carden beat the wing and flew down, and he's scratching in the leaves, and he's
making
cutting.
every sound that a flock of turkeys
That's
would
right.
make.
And then all of a sudden, we realized he has come a long ways, and he's right there, and we just tone it down. Started soft clucking and purring and yelping, doing the wavy call.
The wavy call.
Yeah, the wavy call is just a little sound that turkeys make coming through the woods. Just press your tongue tight and
just a little contentment, feeding,
throwing a little
call.
cluck.
And then I yelped back at him, and he about blew my hat off, and I knew the Gatekeeper was there.
He was there.
The Gatekeeper is dead. Hammer days. Oh, boy. Putting him out of his misery before he gobbled himself to death.
What a beautiful gobbler. Ron Jolly and David Carden pulled out every trick in the book, and it worked. From New Mexico, we're headed south to the Mesquite country of Texas and home of the Rio Grande turkey. South Texas probably has the highest density turkey population in the entire United States. Let's join Will Walker, a member of the Primos video team, on a bow hunt in South Texas. Many times a bow hunter requires several setups to be successful. That's why Texas is such a favorite spot for turkey hunters. Chances and turkeys are in good supply. Rio Grande shares some similarities with their Merriam cousins. For instance, they like to roost in the same areas each day. On this hunt, Will Walker is set up in an area that the turkeys pass through on the way to roost.
Brad Ferris. I'm Will. We're down here in Falfurrias, Texas at the Los Jefes Ranch with guest Mr. Stubblefield and Mr. Schultz. And I tell you, there's more turkeys down here than you can shake a stick at.
That turkey didn't go anywhere.
I'm telling you, Will Walker has bow hunting turkeys down to a science.
He loves it.
He takes his time, he picks his spot to take the shot, and he does it the same way every time. He sets up, he doesn't use a blind.
He doesn't use a blind.
He uses his camo to the full extent, and he sets himself up on a gobbler cushion so he can set long periods of time and be comfortable.
The gobbler cushion that Jolly's talking about has a nice little straps. You can carry it. You can use it to, if you're bow hunting, to put it under your knees or under your behind if you're sitting down, but it'll carry your decoys. If you kill your turkey, you can put your turkey in here and put this flag around him to come out of the woods. Really neat product.
Yep. Well, you know, a bow and arrow is not the only primitive weapon you can use out there. I followed Larry Norton around. He had a black powder gun. Larry Norton's a head guide at Bent Creek. We go over there all the time.
Right.
And he's the two-time world champion turkey caller. But I'm telling you, our results are anything but world class.
Rio Grandes and Merriams can range long distances in the course of a day. Larry and Cuz used a truck to cover as much territory as possible while trying to locate a gobbler.
That gobbler's now 30 yards away, and you can hardly hear
I know
him.
it. The wind is blowing, I don't know, 30, 40 miles an hour, and in Texas, like many places in the West, you just have to deal with that. And what I like to do in that situation is I love the tube call. You know, I love your tube call. I like the one with the silicone rig because it just pops on and off, and it's preset and pre-stretched. And I can yelp real soft on it, or I can generate a lot of volume when the wind's blowing out there.
I know you can.
And I can deal with it like that.
You can find them that way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Another good thing to use in the West when the wind's blowing are friction calls. Slate calls, box calls, both work really well in high wind. Another point you can do is reach a hill or a ridge. Use a high point, use a terrain to get your calling out over the wind.
Just try and make it so that you can hear it and you can hear the response. Well, y'all did things right. He heard you, you found him, and then you called him up.
Right?
What happened, Bubba? Hey, he's a toad, too. Hey.
And now we're off to Colorado on the Oklahoma border, where we run into another pair of henned-up Merriam gobblers. When our host, Kirk Kennedy, showed us the little creek where JP and Harvey live, we thought it would be easy to call a gobbler. But once again, we were wrong.
The Jake Pecker spent all his time chasing the 7 jakes in this flock, while Harvey spent his time trying to impress the hens.
I see how he got his name now.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And we've done everything we knew how for the last 2 days just to get him to move another 40
Box
yards.
calls, I mean everything.
Tube
calls. I mean, nothing seemed to be what they really wanted. But after they got by us, we both remembered that the one thing they strut at the most was that batty world-class
You could
slate.
see him, huh?
Yeah, you could see him. You just yelp at him with this thing, with that old high-pitched, raspy yelp on the end. And they go to strutting. And we got on that, and they come back.
Well, Wilbur,
Unreal.
the Jake Pecker is dead.
These western turkeys are something else. The Rios and the Merriams.
I have new respect.
Me too. It ain't easy.
The openness of this terrain and how much time we just spent sitting with binoculars and figuring it out, you know, and then getting in a place where they make these big, huge loops.
And sounding like a sweet hen.
You bet.
You want to come. I'm
You
telling
bet.
you, it was
like a wore me out.
It's been a hoot, man.
This video is brought to you in part by Lacrosse, great footwear for sport, work, and recreation. Remington, it's what you're shooting for. Hayes Outdoors, makers of Mossy Oak, America's most effective concealment system. And now new companions, the only casual clothing natural enough to wear the Mossy Oak logo. Golden Eagle Archery, simply the best. Satellite Archery, a broadhead for every need. Tara, home of Willow Point and Alpino, where sportsmen's dreams come true. Advanced Bow Sights, experience the ultimate advantage in bow hunting accessories. Featherflex, the ultimate decoy. Primos, champion hunting calls and accessories, the hunter's only choice.